Actually start the class, and today we are not going to learn anything new. I want you guys to muddle the water a little bit more, and let's practice those equations that we learned in the previous class. How do we solve them? Because just learning one thing by seeing me do in the class on the board might not be enough. You have to kind of spend some time, practice and learn. Now let's see. Some of you had questions, right? With respect to the assignment that we had given. Yeah. I want you guys to put those questions so that we can try solving it in the class. Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Let's see what Amoga and Sagnika had, right? Sit down.
Okay. So,
Have a place. Where is Adri? Coming?
I was wondering about this.
Now time to get serious, okay? Hi, Sandri.
So, on the second worksheet, there was like problems that I understood, but like I didn't understand if the first question stood for the first question.
Okay, so let's do one thing. I will behave very dumb while solving those problems, okay? Now, Amoga, you read the question for me.
We don't have the homework right now.
You don't have the homework right now. I have it here.
I can go get it. It's on my dad's phone. I can go get it.
Okay.
It's fine.
Let's do one by one. The second question. I am just writing the question here. Tell me that is the question. X plus y equals 10. X minus y equal to 20. What is the question? Amoga?
We don't know because we don't have the homework.
Okay.
It is on our parents' phone. I can go get it, but
Okay. Fine. Yeah.
but
No. You don't have to solve it.
sir,
No, you don't have to solve it. See, that's what I'm saying. Now, if I'm going to solve it, there's a reason for it. I'm going to do step-by-step thing. Okay? I'm going to tell a story. Done? Happy? Okay. Let me open the assignment and I'll go through it one by one.
sir.
Yep.
I don't know if you know, but like on my dad's message that I was only able to solve like two sums on worksheet 2. I finished the rest in home. I just forgot to like submit it in the WhatsApp group.
That's okay.
Yeah.
So, okay. Today, let's try doing few sums and then we will come to let me find out where the assignments are. Okay, yeah, that second sum was this one. Okay, so let's pick up few sums and we'll try solving it, and then you would know what you have done is right or wrong. Okay, now first thing first. So we have Cherry, we have Bhuvan, we have Moga, Sagnika, Dikshita, Vivan and Pranav. Who is missing here is Gitesh. Sandri is also here. Gitesh is the only guy who is missing right now. Alright. So, give me answers in short. Everybody. Yep.
I'm gonna be back. I'm gonna go get water.
Sure, that's okay. So, I'll ask questions to you guys. Tell me answers like a quick fire. When you solve a problem, do you write stories or you try getting answers? Write stories.
You give him the initial steps, so he don't need to
I will not review. Let me be very clear. I will not review. So, right. So what I'm trying to say is, I will not review. If I keep reviewing it and you lean on my review to be right or not, that is when I'm not teaching you the right thing. I want you guys to follow a process, the steps, like writing stories, so that you can review your work by yourself. Tell me what is that you don't know. You know tables, how to multiply, add, divide, subtract. This is the core of the entire math. You know that. Now, whether we are doing equation, whether we are doing percentage, whether we are doing anything else, we are just applying those basic operations in different forms and shapes. So, what I'm telling you is, when you are solving any problem, do that in a step-by-step manner, without acting smart. Don't act smart. Because when you act smart or try to act smart, the chances of assumption is more. You will assume more, and the chances of mistake is more. Okay? So, when I say don't act smart, I am not making any bad statement here. I am telling you guys that you have to tell that to yourself that okay, I will not assume to be smart and skip 3 steps to get to the answer faster. Okay? I know math is about efficiency, doing it fast, but not at the cost of accuracy. So, promise to yourself from now for next 3 years, you will not try to act smart. You will only do it step by step. Okay? Do it that way, and then you will find out your ways. Okay? Trust me. I said that. Who is missing here? I'm just checking. Is Gitesh there? Can I see you on the screen, Gitesh? No. Okay, so Gitesh is not here yet. Alright, so basically what I was saying was, the first takeaway is, every sum, not only with algebra, not only with any particular topic, trigonometry, geometry or whatever, every sum when you do, you will do that without acting smart. Okay? I want you guys to become smart, no question about it. You guys are much smarter than me, no doubt. I'm just saying that when you're solving math, don't act. Now let me try doing one of the sum without acting smart. Okay? I'm picking up a sum. And Amoga, you guys can, Rika, Amoga, Sanvi, Sangika, any one of you, right? Any sum that you were struggling with, you can try recalling it. If it is solved, wonderful. If not, we'll figure it out. The question I have picked up for solving now is this one. 4x plus 3y equal to 32. 2x minus 7y equal to minus 80. Okay? Doesn't matter. I just picked up a question to solve. Because, again, as I keep saying, I don't care about the answer, right? I don't care about the question also. And so on. You'll get your turn. See, what is the question? Okay, quick. Any class, you'll be allowed to ask only 2 or 3 valid questions. I hope you're not wasting a chance. I don't want you to solve. If you have to solve, you have to solve it in the assignment only and show it to your parents. Have you guys showed the assignment to your parents? If you did that, I'm very happy. I'm sorry?
My dad taught us and never showed it to him. Yeah. And they said we could check by ourselves.
No, I did not get that.
Dad taught us and then taught us how to check by ourselves.
Fine. So, see, I will let the parents decide. But my expectation from all the parents is, if I'm giving the assignment, kids have to do it. And when they solve it, they will show it to the parents and explain what they have done. Okay? And why so? Because if the kids are struggling to explain, then the parents will tell me, say, okay, fine, this particular thing my child did not understand, so can you explain one more time? That is the purpose of me asking you guys to show the assignment to your parents. If you struggle, tell the parents that, okay, I could not understand, I could not follow. That comes to me as a feedback for doing the correction. Okay? So that's the purpose of this thing. That's why I'm insisting on you guys doing the assignment to your parents. Okay? Yes, Amoga.
So, I've about the problem on the board, do we like solve it like two-step equations or like?
Right now I'm going to solve this one, okay? Without acting smart. That's what I was suggesting you guys, right? That if you have a problem, I have not solved this myself, okay? I'm just going to solve it afresh. What will be my approach? I will read this question, right? That is part of my P is understood. Trust yourself that anybody can solve it, I can solve it. That is how you will start. Read the question. Now I'm in the read phase. 4x plus 3y equal to 32. 2x minus 7y equal to minus 18. Oh, so here I'm adding 4x plus 3y, that gives me 32. And here 2x minus 7y gives me minus 18. 2-3 times I read. Reading is done. Now comes the analysis. Now thinking about this guy. 4x plus 2y. Siddharth, you have a question?
Sir, I don't understand about problems.
Which problem?
Like two of them. Like
These are two equations, okay? These are two equations that we have to solve for getting the value of x and y. My first equation was 4x plus 3y equal to 32. Second equation that I am given as part of the question was 2x minus 7y equal to minus 18. Yeah? So I have two equations and I have two unknowns, x and y. So that's what I was saying in the previous class. If you have one variable, one unknown, like only x, somebody says, okay, solve 6x minus 24 equal to 18. There is only one variable x. There is one equation. I can solve it. If
What did you do again?
I'm sorry,
What did you do again, sir?
I have not done anything. I was just telling you guys that if I have one equation, okay? If I have 6x minus 24 minus 18, 6x minus 24 equal to 18. If I have this equation, what do I see is I have only one unknown x. I have to solve for this one. And with one equation, one unknown I can solve. Here if you look at this equation, 4x plus 3y, two unknowns. Only with one equation I cannot do anything here. So what I was telling you guys in the last class, if you remember, that I need as many equations as I had number of variables to deal with. Out of here, in the class. If I have two variables, I would need two equations at least. So now here you see, this is my first equation, this is my second equation. Okay? So I have still not tried solving it, okay? I'm still giving you guys the brain dump. I'm saying that if I have to solve for one variable, one equation is enough. If I have to solve for two variables, if somebody would have given me this equation, say solve it for x and y, by no means I can solve it. I need at least one more equation. So that is why I had the second equation saying 2x minus 7y equal to minus 18. So if you look at this, there are two equations and there are two unknowns, x and y, x and y. So two equations, two unknowns, we can solve it. That is the initial understanding we have. Okay? Yes, is that okay? Alright. So you can go on mute when you are not talking, okay? So that you can avoid the background noise. So here I have two equations, two unknowns to solve for. I am using the chant technique that I keep talking about. Trust yourself that you anyways have to, you don't have a choice. Read again and again. So I am reading this. 4x plus 3y equal to 32. 2x minus 7y equal to minus 18. Now look at the persistence. How tiring I am getting for you guys, right? I am reading it again and again. 4x plus 3y equal to 32. 2x minus 7y equal to minus 18. And when I am doing it, not on the road, on the board. When I am reading it again and again, I am feeding myself. I am feeding my brain. Oh, here we have 4x plus 3y added to get this one. When I am subtracting this, I am getting this. Now I have read this enough. These equations look very familiar to me, right? like the way Chinese sounds to me now. I lived in China so many years that when I hear Chinese, it sounds familiar to me. Okay? Now, here, when I read this question multiple times, it sounds familiar to me. So, then I am on the third stage. I'm still not trying to solve it, right? I have not done anything here yet. Analyze. Look at the question. Okay, I have a plus of y, minus of y. Here both are plus. Here I have plus and minus. What can I do? Can I multiply this by 2 and then subtract from this equation? That could be one option. So that if I multiply by 2, it will become 4x, it will become minus 14y, it will become minus 36. So this becomes 4x. Then I can subtract, or I can probably multiply this by 3 and this by 7, this by 3. And I get 21, then I'll just add this together, this plus 5 becomes 0. So this is what I'm thinking. Don't complicate. Stop there. Alright. What is the question, Amoga?
Why did you subtract 14 and 31?
So, okay, not 1431. See here, I'm still thinking, I'm not doing anything, okay, trust me. I'm still thinking. I'm in the play of my turn. I'm analyzing still. See, I have two equations. The easiest of the option, what I have. First option I have is, I will find out the value of x in this equation or this equation and substitute in the other equation. That is my first approach. Or, I can do some deal here to knock off one of them. Ultimately, I want to simplify it. I can either, by first approach, okay, so let me go step by step. First approach is find out the value of x or y and from one equation and substitute in the other one. Or I can find it here, substitute it here. That is my first approach. Second approach is try to minimize one of them or try to negate one of them. What you can do in this scenario? Let's see this. Let's look at this. Okay, before I go forward, let's see. Adam was saying something. Let me hear him one more time. But let's see if he has something simple that he wants to say. Yeah, tell me. Okay, then I will request you to stop because that doesn't help. That doesn't help. I'll tell you what. I'm talking about the concepts. If you explain me this thing in air, I'll not understand anything. So here I'm focusing on the approach. Yeah, everyone.
Can I go get some water?
Yes, please. So when I have a question, right? When I'm in the analysis phase, and trust me, you might think that I'm wasting your time, but this wastage is worth investing. Okay? I'm talking about the two approach. These are two generic universal approach that you have to follow while solving the equation. What is my first approach? My first approach is simplification. What do I mean by that? Find out x's value in relation to y. Or vice versa. What I have written here is find out x's value in relation to y or vice versa, meaning or y's value in relation to x. That is my first approach. Now what do I mean by that? Find out x's value in relation to y or vice versa. Now what is that I am trying to say here? Look at this equation, this equation. Let's say 2x. I am trying to find out x's value in relation to y. Meaning if I look at this equation alone, minus 18, this minus 7y becomes plus 7y. We have found x's value in relation to y. or x equals minus 18 plus 7y divided by 2. We have found the value of x.
On the video. Okay.
What
Wait,
is-
sir, can I just go get some water?
You don't have to ask for it. You can just go ahead and get water and come back once you're ready, okay?
Okay, sorry, thank you.
Yeah. Here, I have tried to find out x's value in terms of y. Or you can pick anything. Okay, let me pick this equation. Or y's value as a relation to x, in relation to x. So 4x plus 3y equals 32. Let me write it like a story. 4x, I picked up the first equation, okay? And you can choose whichever you like. Nobody is stopping us from doing that. 4x plus 3y equals 32. Let me try to find out y's value in relation to 32. 3y equal to 32 minus 4x. I just kept y on one side, move everything to the other side. Or y equals 32 minus 4x divided by 3. Whatever I have done here, I have tried to find out value of x, picking up one of the equation, okay? If I am picking up this equation, I found value of x, what I will do? I will put the value of x in this equation, everything is in y. Yeah.
Please.
So here, again, I am repeating myself, okay? When you have two equations to solve for two variables, you will find out one variable's value in relation to the other variable. Like here, I picked up this equation, from this we found the value of x. Now x equals 18 minus 18 plus 7y by 2. I'll take this value of x and let's say put in this one. I take the value of x and put in this one. What happens? All the x, there is no x here. Everything is y. Y number, y number, y number. So this equation became like one equation with one variable. Did you notice that? No. Yep. Yeah, Muga.
So did you just put the equations together? Like add them together?
Yeah.
So I have not done that part yet. I am just talking about the first approach. Okay.
So,
So-
you made them together? Like you
No, I have not brought them together. Okay. Yeah. So let's solve one equation. Then probably you'll be able to relate it. Okay.
okay.
So let's pick the first one. We'll probably end up solving all the problems today, okay? Let's look at this. X plus 2y. What is that? You know, don't keep asking the same question, please. Because I'm not allowing you guys to solve it here because I'm explaining something behind that. You will not be able to do that. When there is a need, when I give you assignment to come and do on the board, then only you will ask me that. So please don't keep asking me the same question, okay? Okay. X plus 2y equal to 12. 3x plus 4y equal to 4. Now here, I have two equations. What I was saying was, find out x's value in relation to y or y's value in relation to x. Let's pick up one. Let's say, okay, x plus 2y, I'll find out the value of x as a result of y, okay? Let's pick up this equation. What did I do? I picked up the first equation which says x plus 2y equal to 12. See, I'm telling the story, okay? X plus 2y equal to 12. I just narrated the same story. That means x equal to, I'm keeping x on one side and making everything to move. So it was plus 2y became minus 2y by crossing the border. Okay? So x equals to 12 minus 2y. I got the value of x from the first equation. Okay? I got the value of x from the first equation. Now, what would I do? I will take that value of x and put in the second equation. So I know x equals this. Now I am picking up this equation which says what? 3x plus 4y equal to 4. Now I will put the value of x here. Whatever I got from the other equation, okay? So 3 into x. X is what? 12 minus 2y. plus 4y equal to 4. If you look at the sequence of events, what did I do? I picked up the first equation. I wrote it here. X equals plus 2y equal to 12. That means x equals to 12 minus 2y. This moved to other side, became minus 2y. So from this I got the value of x. Once I got the value of x in relation to y from the first equation, then I looked at my second equation. Okay, I got x here. Let me put the value of x in the second equation. The second equation was this. What did I do? I put the value of x from here. So my equation became like this. Now let me solve this. I am breaking the bracket. Again, same PEMDAS or BUDMAS, whatever you call it. First thing is you have to break the bracket. I am breaking the bracket right now. Yes, Siddharth?
I didn't understand about like the third equation.
I'll come to that one more time. Just give me 2. Okay, let me do it one more time. So how did I start? Okay. How did I start? I had these two equations. I said, okay, I have to find out the value of x in relation to y. I picked up the first equation. I like the first equation. This looks simpler to me. I picked the first one. And again, for you guys also, don't look for complex things. Look for simpler things. I picked the first equation. I just wrote it again here. X plus 2y equal to 12. I am starting with my first equation. So, once I got the first equation, now I am continuing with my story. X plus 2y equal to 12. That means x equals 12 minus 2y. I am getting everything on one side. So I just kept x on one side, everything else to the other side of equal to side. So 12, this plus 2y became minus 2y. This part is clear, right, Siddharth? Siddharth? Yep, okay. Now, so I got the value of x in relation to y here. There's nothing more I want to do. I just got value of x in relation to y, or if I would have picked up y, I would have got the value of y in terms of x. Now, I got the value of x. It's time to switch to the next equation. I picked up the next equation here. So fine. Now this is my equation. What will I do? Whatever value for x I have got, I'll just substitute. I just substituted it here. And then my second equation became like this. Are you guys with me so far? Okay?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So, in the second equation, I put the value that I got from the first one. So, I just put the second equation and then the value that I got here. Now, if you recall BUDMAS or PEMDAS, right? Whatever you like, no arguments. I just both say the same thing. First, you have to break the bracket. When you are doing operation, you break the bracket. I am trying to break the bracket. 3 times 12, 36. Minus 3 into minus 2y. Minus 3 into minus 2, minus 6y. Bracket is broken, exploded. Now then you have 4y equal to 4. See, I am not trying to act smart. I am going step by step. Okay. Now this equation I bring here. So 36 minus 6y plus 4y. How much this will be? So now same things will operate together. Minus 6y plus 4y. How much that will be?
10y.
Sorry?
10y.
Minus 6y plus 4y.
Negative 2y.
Minus 2y. Minus 2y. Yeah. Minus 2y. You have 6 credit, 4 debit. Yeah. So that became minus 6 plus 4, they give 2y, minus 2y equal to 4. Now you want to keep y on one side so that you get everything else on the other side. So you will say, okay, go this side and you will ask this guy to come this side. So 36, this side, this come this side. So here it is nothing, meaning plus, so it becomes minus. Equal, this goes to this side, minus 2y, minus becomes plus 2y. Okay? So 2y, or you will say 36 minus 4 is 32, equal to plus 2y or 2y, whatever you call it. That means 2y equals to 32. on y equal to 32. 2y is nothing but 2 into y. So that means if you are making this guy go this side, it will come this side. So it becomes division. Yeah? So y equals 16 by 2 is 32 by 2 16. So you got the value of y. Now all the circus we have done so far, if you look at this whole drama that I was doing, I had two equations. I picked up the first equation, tried to say, okay fine, let me isolate. Let me isolate on one side, x on one side, everything on the other side. So that I have x isolated here, it's like quarantine. I don't want him to spread the disease and make the math too complicated. Quarantined x. Now we got the value of x in terms of y. I'll pick up this value and go to the other equation that we have not touched here. And in that equation, I said, okay, fine, whatever value of x we got after quarantine, I'll substitute it here. So now, what happened by doing this substitution was that it became an equation with one variable only. See, we have only y here. That is what our purpose was. We had equation with two variables. By using two equations, what we did was, we got to a point where we have one equation with one variable. And that is what is our most comforting situation to get into. So, that is why I will keep on stopping you guys when I see a distraction, okay? You are in a hurry to solve it. I'm sure you would not do it that way, okay? You will try getting the answer. So, as my job is here to make you guys understand what you should keep in your mind as an approach. You only will solve the problem. Your intelligence only will help you get to the answer or do the exam. But here, what you will not or what you will learn in the class is the approach part of it. Okay? My first approach that I was telling you is isolate. You are trying to isolate x and then put that to make an equation with one variable. You can always choose the other one also. You can say, okay, I will isolate y. You say 2y equal to this, and then 1y is some value, and then put that value of y here, do the same thing, nothing different. So you first try to isolate one variable in terms of the other one, and then put that value in the second equation to solve it. Okay? Any questions with the approach that we have followed so far?
I have to.
What is that?
I understand everything.
Everything? Okay. So, again, yes. What is that? X and Y chart. Don't do that. Don't do that. Why I am saying is because right now we are talking about, you will talk about that when you talk about linear equations, okay? When you talk about linear equation, when you talk about linear, drawing lines or graphs, that is when we talk about that. So that's why it's always important to take one thing at a time. You get a question paper, you have 20 questions. If you try solving all of them together, you will solve none. So take one thing at a time, you will be able to finish it. Yeah. Okay, whoever is not talking, please go on mute so that I don't worry about the question. Now we found the value of y is 16. We can put that in the other any equation and we can get the value of x. That part is clear, right? Okay. Okay, I see a very big thumbs up. It's coming almost close to the screen. Alright. Now coming back to this one. So this was the first approach. I call it isolation. Meaning you isolate one of the variable, use that value to put in the second equation and you solve it. Up to this much clear, everybody? Yeah? Uh-oh. No, don't do that. Now there is a second method. Let me try solve. Okay. Now look at the second question. So here also the same method, isolation. Ultimate objective is to simplify, not to complicate. That's why I keep stopping you. about chart or anything more interesting that we'll learn later. Don't worry. Here, I have two equations. Same approach, isolation. Meaning, isolation or simplification, whatever you call it. We have two variables in this equation, we have two variables in this equation. Any equation and every equation that we want to solve, we only want one variable in that equation. That is when I can solve it, right? If I have 2x minus 6x equal to 52, I have only one variable. I can solve it here only. I don't have to go and borrow anybody's help, right? But not every equation is like this. So we have to get into that shape, that form. So you have to find out ways to get into that form, make this equation with one variable, and then you can solve it. That's what we did in the previous question also. We had two equations. We found the value of x in terms of y, put that value in the second equation, so everything became like y and some constants, and you could find the value of y. Correct? Remember? Here also, every equation you are ultimately trying to get to a situation where you have only one variable and some constants. That is your goal. Now, you can achieve the same goal by playing around with the things. Here, one approach was, okay, you'll say, okay, isolate x equal to 10 minus y, and then put this value of x here, and you'll solve it. That's the one approach. The second approach also, what you can do is, if you have two equations, meaning this is a relationship, if you add them, let's say you have $5, you have $10, okay? I'm just telling that. If I have to say, okay, how much the family has, you can say, okay, I have 5, I have 10, or you can say the whole family has 50. Both the same thing, because this is one ingredient, this is second ingredient, which is making a total sum for the family. Here, same thing. This is one equation, this is second equation. I can repaint them as similar, same independent equation, or I can put them together as one equation also. What I will do is, I will just add them together. And that will also be correct. Now if I am adding them together, what happens? See, x plus x, 2x, plus y minus y, 0y, or nothing, equals 10 plus 20, 30. What did I do? This was my first equation, this was my second equation. What did I do? I just added them. And this is my equation. What happened here? It became 2x equals 10 plus 20 is 30. X equals 30 by 2 equal to 15. What is the value of y? I will just put the value of x in one of the equation, any equation that I like. Y, let's say I put in this one, x is 15. So 15 plus y equals 10. Y equals, it goes here to here, it becomes minus 15. Yeah? Plus 15 becomes minus 15. Y equals minus 5. Okay? Or if I did not like the first equation, I like the second equation more, I'll say, okay, I'll put the value of x here. 15 minus y equals to 20. Or minus y equals 20 minus 15. So minus y equals 20 minus 15, 5. So y equals, I will multiply by minus 5 on both the sides. This minus minus becomes plus y equal to minus 5. Same thing. Yeah? So, what is it that I am saying here? I have two options now. I can go the simple method of isolation, find out the value of one variable in terms of the other one, substitute in the second equation, get the value. Or, if I find an opportunity to solve it in a much simpler way, I follow, this is minus and plus. They can negate each other. I just added them together, both the equations. It became 2x, y got 0, 10 plus 20, 30. I can add, I can subtract also. Yes, Amuga?
After this problem, can we do another one too?
Yeah, we will. Now I can, let's say, I did addition today, right? I can do subtraction also. I will say, okay, subtract. So this minus, this is that is, so becomes minus. This is minus, minus into minus becomes plus, and this becomes minus. I'm subtracting here. What happens? X and x is knocked off. And y, and this is plus y. So it becomes 2y equals 10 minus 20 is minus 10. Y equals minus 10 by 2. Y equals minus 5. So look at this. In the whole process, only thing that is a takeaway for all of us is the approach. You can add, you can subtract, you can isolate. This is the approach. Solution you will do by yourself. Right? This is that's why I always keep on telling you guys, which I know you guys don't like it. I say I don't care about the answer. Because that is not my lookout. If I keep finding out the answers and keep spending my time and energy for telling you guys the answer, I'm compromising on my opportunity for teaching you guys the process part of it. If you learn the process, you can solve hundreds of problems like this. Okay? Without worrying about it. If I just take two sums and stress on the answer, you'll only learn two sums. Here with this approach, I'm saying you isolate or you add, subtract. Yeah? Yes. Somebody has a question.
I think I understand the whole thing now.
Yeah?
I think I understand now.
Okay. I will get you tired. I'll keep on explaining enough so that you see you give up and say, no, I have learned it enough. You are boring me now. Okay, now whatever we have learned, let's pick up the third question, okay? So, if you know the concepts and do that with a calm head, you will find that every problem you can solve in 3 or 4 ways. Now let's pick up the second one. I will not try solving it. I will give you guys the approach again. Somebody has it. Yeah, everyone.
Sir, the only problem I'm running into right now is solving the equation which have like the decimal points.
Don't worry. Decimal is like chicken and egg. We'll come to that, okay? We'll come to that. Decimal is something that I have given a different name. I call every decimal as a chicken. Okay? Anybody here who is a hardcore vegetarian? Nobody? Okay. No question. This is, what is that? No, don't ask the same thing. I will do it. I will not let you do it. Even I am not doing it. Now, look at this question. Based on whatever we have done, we have one method we can isolate, saying x equals to 45 plus y and put in the second equation, do it. That is one, don't care. That is one approach. Second approach is we can add or subtract. Here you see 1 plus 1 minus. If I just add these two equations, that also gives me value of x, I can continue. This is the second approach. Now there is a third approach. Third approach is, let's say here this was not y. Let's say this was 2y. Then adding or subtracting would have not helped. Then you would have gone back to your previous option. But I don't want you to go there. I want you to try a third option, which is, okay, can I multiply this whole thing by 2? Now if I do that, this becomes 2x, right? Then I'll be able to subtract. Yeah? Or I can also choose, say, okay, fine, not this one. I want to get rid of y. Let me multiply this by 2. So I have minus 2y and plus 2y. Okay? Here, this is also correct. So this is third option. So you can either isolate and then substitute in the second equation, solve it. You can simply add, subtract if it is possible to solve it. Or you can multiply by certain things and then you can solve it. Now let's look at other equation, other question. This one that we started with 4x plus 3y equal to 32. 2x minus 7y equal to minus 18. Same thing here. I can multiply this whole thing by 2. It becomes 4x. Then I can subtract. My job will be done. This is one approach. Second approach is this one. Now if you want to, let's say, knock off y. 3 and 7. Meaning you can multiply this equation by 7 and multiply this equation by 3. You will have same number of y. Yeah? And it doesn't hurt. You can choose any number to multiply with, depending on what helps you solve it. So now there are 4 approaches that we have learned for solving linear equation or equations. First is isolation, when you find out the value of one variable in terms of the second one and substitute that value in the second equation and solve it. Second approach is where if you see an opportunity by just adding the 2 equations you can solve it. Third opportunity, you can multiply one of the equation to match one of the variables and then do a addition or subtraction to knock off one variable. Ultimately your objective is you want to get to a situation where you have one equation with one variable so that you get the value of one variable, and once you have found that value, put in the second equation to get that value. Yeah? And then there is a situation like this where you have to multiply one equation with one number, second equation with second number, and then solve it. Whatever we have done so far, any questions? I have only told you guys the approach. You can solve 50, 100, 200, 500 problems following this approach. You will not face any problem as long as you are dealing with 1 or 2 equations without coming to decimals. Okay, I am not coming to decimals yet. I have not come to decimals yet. But here, whatever we have learned, any questions that you are facing right now, anything that is not clear. And okay, I mean, just be honest. I mean, if there is something not clear, it's okay. Not something not being clear is fine. That's what I'm getting money from your parents. Yeah. Okay. Here.
Yes.
So from the first option, okay. So my first option is this one, isolation. Okay. I will say, fine. Let me take this equation. I can take any of them. Okay. So 2x equal 2x minus 7y equal to minus 18. So 2x, I am finding the value of x in terms of y. So getting this here, minus 7 becomes plus 7y. So x equals minus 18 plus 7y divided by 2. I got the value of x in terms of y. What will I do? I will take this value and put in this equation. In place of x, I will put this whole thing. Break the bracket. Here, once I put instead of x, if I put this value, right, minus 18 plus 7y divided by 2. Once you break this, you will see that everything is in y. There is no x anymore. So now I have one equation with one variable. I will get the value of y here. So once I get the value of y, I can put the value of y here or here to get the value of x. Okay? That is the first approach called isolation. You isolate one of the variables, put that value in the second equation, get it. Second method is when you do mix and match. If you find this, here you will say, okay, fine. If I multiply this by 2, I have equal number of x. Then I can subtract. When I subtract this equation from this equation, or vice versa, my x will be gone. I will only have an equation in relation to y. So I can find the value of y, and again that helps me find the value of x. So isolation or mix and match. These are the 2 methods. Yeah.
What about the elimination method?
What is that? Isolation, elimination.
No, the elimination method.
So mix and match is nothing but your elimination method if you can relate it, right? So what did we do here? Let's do this one. I have these two equations. What I'm trying to do? I'm trying to get to a situation where I have equation with only one variable. The idea that I get by reading this question multiple times, right? That is when you come to my magic method. Now, analyze phase. When you have read this enough, oh, I can multiply this by 2. That will help me knock off x. So before I try solving it, I have an idea that I can multiply this by 2 and subtract this equation from this equation. I'll be able to eliminate x completely. That is the elimination method. Okay. So you can call different things differently, but you call it elimination or you call it mix and match. Ultimate objective is we are trying to get to a point where I have equation in one variable. Let's say what did I do? First equation I kept as is, I multiply this guy by 2. This becomes 4x minus 2 into 7, 14y equal to 2 into minus 18, minus 36. Right? Now I have one equation is this, second equation is this. Now I will subtract this equation from this one. What does it become? 4x, this becomes minus 4x, this becomes plus, this becomes plus. So 4x minus 4x becomes 0x. Both are plus now. So becomes plus 14 plus 3, 17y equals minus 36 plus 20 becomes 56. So 17y equals 56. Y equals 56 by 17, whatever it is. Yeah? Then you will substitute this value in any of the equation and get the corresponding value of x. So look at this here. Ultimately, both the methods, okay, again, I'm not trying to contradict myself, but in both the methods, you are doing some kind of elimination any which way. In the normal method, you found out the value of x in terms of y and put that in the second equation so that everything is in y. You eliminated x. Yeah? So I was calling it isolation. Second method is where you are combining them, doing some mix and match to knock off one of the variables. Ultimately, you are trying to eliminate one of them. Yeah? So, there can be one parent method saying elimination, ultimately that's what you are trying to do. But I have broken into two parts because you have two approaches. You will say, okay, fine, can I find the value of x and substitute and find it out? Or I can do a faster method. Trust me, when you guys spend some time, do more sums, you will be more leaning towards this method of multiplying and subtracting because this gives you faster response. This helps you solve faster. If you put x, value of x from here, then substitute here, this becomes an equation a little lengthier. Takes a little longer time. So you lean towards that, but that's always your call. I mean, how you want to solve it. Okay? Any questions with respect to whatever we have done? No? Sanvi, Vivan, Sagnika, Amoga, Vivan, Cherry, no questions? Okay. Good.
No, sir.
Okay.
No,
Alright.
sir.
Dikshita, okay. Alright. So now we have 5 more minutes. I want to play. Play with maths. What play? So play. I see when we do the class, right? I don't know about you guys. My class starts at 3 o'clock, 3 p.m. 3 to 6. 3 hours I'm standing here and doing the class. Right? But then, why I'm doing it? Because I love maths. And that's why when I say play, I'm talking about playing with math, nothing else, okay? So now, when I say play, right? Let's look at this. What I'm talking about the play is this one. Plus 2 minus, minus 2 plus, multiplication to division, division to multiplication. These are the plus becomes minus, plus becomes minus, minus becomes plus, division, multiplication becomes division, division becomes multiplication. when you cross the border. Not US to Mexico border. I'm talking about the equal to border. I have x plus 7y equal to 21. If I want to make this guy cross the border,
That is minus.
this plus y becomes
Minus.
minus 7y. Yeah.
That was equal sign. Okay, equal sign. What is
I mean, you can be as creative as you want. I'm just showing you the path. And I don't want to restrict your creativity. I'm saying, I'm just making this guy cross the border. Now it's a Mexico border or Canada border or Brazil border, I'll let you decide. Net, when you are making this guy cross from this side of the border, and the border could be any which way, okay? If you make this guy come here, if there is nothing, that means there is a plus. If it comes here, meaning crosses the border, this will become x plus 7y, and I am trying to bring this guy to this side as well, which becomes minus 21. And then since you brought everything here, this side is nothing, there is nothing left, that is 0. Okay? So, something like this. So this is plus to minus, minus to plus, okay? If I had a minus 7y and I had to make this guy cross the border, go this side, this would have become minus 2 plus 7y. This is what I meant by this reversal game. Plus changes to minus, minus changes to plus, multiplication becomes division, division becomes multiplication. Now, this is one point. Now look at the addition subtraction you saw. Let's say 7y equal to 48. This is what you have gotten to. Here, but this, if I want to isolate y, meaning I want to get the value of y, what will I do? This 7 comes this side. So, here is nothing but multiply, 7 into y. It becomes division, 48 divided by 7. Or you can optically look at it. This travels in this direction. Okay? If it's here, on the second floor, it comes to the first floor. If it's the first floor, it goes to second floor. It crosses like this. That is what you have to visualize. So, you will not see me memorizing, okay, fine, 48 by 3, y equal to 26 by 8. I'll say, oh, this is multiplication, this is division. I'll just say, okay, this is crossing this way. Okay, if I keep y here, he goes up and 48 comes down. This is just crossing like this. That's it. Yeah. So this is the play part of it. Okay. Meaning, when you are doing operations, if these operations make you think, that means you need more practice. When you practice, this will come easy. I mean, you don't have to worry about it. I'll just play with it, right? That's why I said let's play for 5 more minutes. Oh, Siddharth is breaking his head to digest this. Okay. So we learn or we just practice the sums. Key takeaways for you is this part. And the second thing is, when you are solving all the math that I was solving, trust me, I can solve those sums maybe by saving 2-3 minutes with every sum. I could have done a little faster also. But when I am solving the sum, I would not jump any step. And I would recommend you guys not to jump steps. Because if you jump steps, you will not be able to review. So always do step by step. Make sure that you are being fair and nice to each and every step in the sum, like a story, and then you solve it. Yes, sir.
What if there was the let's say